Alright, the day has arrived. I'm going to start getting the garden ready for summer season. We are already in June, I know. It might seem quite late, but it was the only time that I could do this. The weather has been helping and has been in my favor for once after many years, so I'm quite happy. Last week temperatures were almost reaching the 40 Celsius degrees, but luckily this week is cooler, and actually today is kind of cloudy, which normally I wouldn't like a cloudy day, but it is perfect for transplanting the seedlings in the garden, because otherwise the heat, if it's too strong, it can burn the seedlings, which has happened to me in the past. I have the garden beds quite empty now from produce, because everything that I planted for the spring season is now almost harvested. I still have some lettuces and stuff, but it was plants that I harvested and they kept producing. Even the lettuces that I cut, the entire lettuce, they sprouted and gave new leaves, but I want to cut everything because I know that in summer I cannot have any leafy greens here because they just don't survive the heat. The first thing that I'm going to do, I don't know if I'm going to get all the garden beds ready or I'm going to start going one by one, which I think is best. Otherwise I might leave all the transplanting for one day and maybe that day is too hot. So I'm going to probably go one by one and I'm going to show you how the seedlings are doing, which is kind of crazy because I think that I might have planted them a month ago, but time flew this past month. I actually trimmed the garden bed probably 2 weeks ago. By the time that I was going to start working in the garden, I had to do all that job yesterday again, which grew crazy, so I did that again just to make sure that the garden is tidy and clean. Otherwise I don't like to trim the weeds when the seedlings are there because they get damaged from stones flying and things like that. Let's go. I direct saw here some Icelandic poppy, which were extremely expensive. I think I paid for a package of probably 7 seeds, more than 10 euros. So I use this system of using bamboo sticks with jute cords around it to protect it from Lolita, because back then when I saw the seeds, the dahlias were not here and Lolita could use this as her bathroom. I used that hoping that the seeds would sprout, but not a single one of them did. I believe that there was one that actually sprouted, but back then it was raining a lot, and I think the soil got extremely compacted. The delicate sprout died. The roots probably rotten because the water wasn't draining well. This garden bed isn't filled with much compost or extra soil, so it gets really compacted because it is the natural soil that we have here. So I don't think that I'm going to try to sow poppy seeds anymore. For some reason they do really bad in my climate, and then the problem is that by the time that I need to sow them, it is the time that a lot of weeds grow. It's impossible for me to weed without damaging the future seedling. So this was my last chance to try poppy seeds in my garden. Maybe in a future garden bed that could be protected 100% from weeds to go all the way up from the bottom. Maybe I will try, but at least I know that dahlias are growing well. Cosmos that were self-seeded are also growing. Not everything works. Every year I try new things and not all of them grow all the time. Another lesson, because sometimes I receive message from you guys. You think that everything works perfectly for me, and not everything works perfectly for me all the time. Actually, in this garden bed I also have some red cabbage that for some reason this year didn't grow much. The other type of cabbage grow well, but the red one didn't grow well, and that's okay. I will just harvest them even if the leaves that they have are quite thick. I will just steam them and I can use them anyways in the kitchen, so that's what I'm going to do. The rest of the garden bed was pretty much harvested already, so I will just need to clean the weeds because in this last month they got out of control, and I will decompact the soil because, like I said, it was raining a lot during the winter and spring season, and this garden bed gets extremely compacted. So before planting my seedlings, I want to improve aeration in the soil. I had to buy a new tool because getting the garden ready last year before winter, this whole part broke down, which I was quite surprised because this was supposed to be a good quality tool. And then I ordered a new one just for this season, and by the time that I unpacked everything, I realized that one of these teeth was also broken and I didn't see it, so I removed the tag, and Pepe was the one that told me, but that's what I have. First garden bed is now ready. I would like to add some natural fertilizer and eventually compost when I transplant the seedlings, but I'm going to leave that for later because the weather has been so good. I said that I was going to prepare one garden bed and then the other, but I decided to prepare two garden beds, and I'm going to get ready the two garden beds that are closer to the cabin. This one is again almost all harvested. I have two cabbages, but I'm going to harvest them. Decided that I'm going to leave that cabbage in the soil because it's not a problem, and I don't have enough space in the fridge. And also I realized that I have these 2 iceberg lettuces that again are new sprouts, but they don't seem to be going to flower anytime soon. So I'm just going to leave them in the soil because if we can enjoy some extra salad.
After many months in the making, 2 weeks ago I launched my new scarf and scrunchie collection, a project I dreamed for so long. And today I want to thank every single one of you who purchased one of my handmade creations and who has been supporting my small business during the past 3 years. I will be forever grateful for your support. Now, most of the products are sold out, but there are still a couple of scarves and scrunchies left in stock before I get to launch my next drop at the end of the month. Running my small business smoothly while living off the grid and wearing many hats at the same time has been possible thanks to Squarespace. I have been using Squarespace myself for 10 years. Squarespace is an amazing all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs to stand out and succeed online. They have all the tools you need to create a beautiful website or blog, which has been super helpful to me. You can easily engage with your audience and sell anything from products to content to time. They recently came out with Squarespace AI, which is a built-in AI tool to create your website just in a few clicks. Their interactive design system transforms basic information about your brand or business into an elevated online presence matched to your profile and aesthetic. If you are new to Squarespace, you can go to squarespace.com and try for free. And when you are ready to launch, you can go to squarespace.com/Eugenia Diaz to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.